Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaim Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 14, the performance of the Vrindavan pastimes. Text 17 onwards. Prabhu bale ki tumi karila mora heta, achambite asi piyao Krishna Lila amrita. So this is when Mahaprabhu was taking rest in the Jagannath Vallabh garden, and Maharaj Pratap Rudra came, massaged him, and he was singing this Gopi Gita from Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu embraced him, saying, "You are the most munificent. You are the most munificent because you spoke Krishna Lilamrita and reminded me of Krishna Lilamrita." So Mahaprabhu is asking now, Ke tumi, who are you? So let's see what Maharaj Pratap Rudra answers. Finally, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Who are you? You have done so much for me. All of a sudden, you have come here and made me drink the nectar of the pastimes of Lord Krishna." Raja kahe ami tomar daser anudas, bhrityera bhrityakara ei morahash. The king replied, "My lord, I am the most obedient servant of your servants. It is my ambition that you will accept me as a servant of your servants." So important. King didn't say, "I am the king, I'm Maharaj Pratap Rudra, king of Odisha." And then definitely he wouldn't have gotten the mercy. But this is his mood. He wanted to be not just servant of Mahaprabhu, servant of his servants. And actually that is the real position. The greatest achievement for a devotee is to become a servant of the servants of the Lord. Actually, no one should desire to become the direct servant of the Lord. That is not a very good idea. When Prahlad Maharaj was offered a benediction by Nrsimhadev, Prahlad rejected all kinds of material benedictions. But he prayed to become the servant of the servants of the Lord. So this was his desire. When Dhruv Maharaj was offered a benediction by Kubera, the treasurer of the demigods, Dhruv could have asked for unlimited material opulence, but he simply asked for the benediction of becoming the servant of the servants of the Lord. Kholavecha Sridhar was a very poor man, but when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give him a benediction, he also prayed to the Lord to be allowed to remain a servant of the servants of the Lord. The conclusion is that being the servant of the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the highest benediction one can desire. Well, those who are devotees, those who have the real knowledge, those who know how to please Krishna, this is the benediction they would ask for. Not like, it's okay to sing this way, but not the best thing. Like people in Vrindavan or in Govardhan, when the newcomers, not the Brajvasis say this way, but the newcomers, oh Radhe Radhe, Shyam Milade. No. The benediction that we need to ask is, I want to be servant of your servant. Das das anudas. Tabe Mahaprabhu tare aishwarya dekhaila. Kare na kahive nisheda karila. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed some of his divine opulences to the king, and he forbade him to disclose this to anyone. Raja hena jnana kavu na kaila prakasha antare sakal janin vahire udasa. Although within his heart, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew everything that had happened, Externally, he did not disclose it. Nor did he disclose that he knew he was talking with King Prataparudra. Prataparudrer bhagya dekhi bhakta gane, Raja re prashamse sabe ananditamane. Seeing the Lord's special mercy upon King Prataparudra, the devotees praised the king's good fortune, and their minds became open and blissful. This is characteristic of a pure Vaishnava. He is never envious if another devotee receives the mercy and strength of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A pure Vaishnava is very happy to see a person elevated in devotional service. Unfortunately, there are many so-called Vaishnavas who become envious to see someone actually recognized by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is a fact that no one can preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message without receiving the special mercy of the Lord. This is known to every Vaishnava. Yet, there are some envious people who cannot tolerate the expansion of this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. They find fault with the preacher who has spread this movement and do not praise him for the excellent service he has rendered in fulfilling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Obviously, here Prabhupada is talking about himself, because some people were not happy with his, not with his preaching, but the kind of glories and the respect and the success he was getting all over the world. But barring that, this is what we have to introspect within ourselves. Forget about others, because we are more worried about our growth. This is what we have to introspect. If I get this enviousness, the envy, if somebody else is making more progress or getting more mercy, or I get happiness I feel happy in my heart. And even if not happy, because that comes much later, we should be at least be neutral, glorify that person who's getting that mercy in any way one can make progress. We should be pleased that that person is getting more mercy of the Lord. And if I also try to serve the Lord, I'll also get the mercy. But that introspection we have to do. Dandvat kari raja bahire chalila, yoda hasta kari sab bhaktere vandila. Submissively offering prayers to the devotees with folded hands and offering obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king went outside. Madhyana karila Prabhu laya bhakta gana, Vaninath prasad laya kaila gamana. After this, Vaninath Rai brought all kinds of prasad, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted lunch with his devotees. Sarvabhauma Ramananda Vaninath diya, Prasad Pathaila Raja Bahuta Kariya. The king also sent a large quantity of prasadam through Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ramanand Rai and Vaninath Rai. Balagandi Bhogyer Prasad Uttamananta Nishakadi Prasada Ila Yaranahiyanta. Prasadam sent by the king had been offered at the Balkandi festival and included uncooked milk products and fruits. It was all of the finest quality and there was no end to the variety. Chana pana paida amra narikela kanthala nana vidha kadalaka arabijatana. There were curd, fruit juice, coconut, mango, dried coconut, jackfruit, various kinds of bananas, and palm fruit seeds. This is the first list of prasadam offered to Lord Jagannath. And then further, Naranga Cholanga Tava, Kamala Bija Pura, Badama, Chohara, Draksha, Pinda Kharjura. There were also oranges, grapefruit, tangerines, almonds, dried fruit, raisins, and dates. Manohara Ladhuadi Shatika Prakara Amrita Gutika Adi Shirasa Apara. There were hundreds of different types of sweetmeats like Manohara Ladu, sweets like Amrita Gutika, and various types of condensed milk. Now, Priyadarshini Mataji, you have to feed us all of these items. Amrita Manda Sarvati Ara Kundakuri Saramrita Sarabhaja Ara Sarapuri. There are also papayas and sarvati, a type of orange, and also crushed squash. There are also regular cream, fried cream, and a type of puri made with cream. Wow. Hari Vallabh Shenoti Karpura Malati Dalima Maricha Ladu Navata Amriti. There were also the sweets known as Hari Vallabh and sweets made of Shanoti flowers, Karpur flowers, and Malati flowers. There were pomegranate sweets made with black pepper, sweets made with fused sugar, and Amriti jilipi. I don't know what is all this. Padmachini Chandrakanti Khaja Khad Shara Viyari Kadama Tila Khajara Prakara. There were lotus flower sugar, a kind of bread made from urad dal, crispy sweetmeat, sugar candy, fried sweets, fried rice sweets, sesame seed sweets, and cookies made from sesame seeds. Naranga cholanga amra vrikshera akara, full fala patra yukta, khandera vikar. They were sugar candy sweetmeats formed into the shape of orange, lemon, and mango trees and arranged with fruits, flowers, and leaves. Dadi dugdanani takra rasala shikharini, Salavarna Mud Gankura Ada Khani Khan. They were yogurt, milk, buttermilk, fruit juice, a preparation made of fried yogurt and sugar candy, and salty moong dal sprouts with shredded ginger. Lembukula Adinana Prakara Achara Likhitena Pari Prasad Kateka Prakara. There were also various kinds of pickles, lemon pickle, berry pickle, and so on. Indeed, I'm not able to describe the variety of food offered to Lord Jagannath. In verses 26 through 34, the author describes the various foods offered to Lord Jagannath. He has described them as far as possible, but he finally admits his inability to describe them completely. And remember, all these discussions or descriptions are given to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami by Raghunath Das Goswami at Radhakund. And then he is writing everything. How much Raghunath Das Goswami must have remembered by the time he reached Radhakund from Jagannath Puri. But still, there is so much of description. Prashade Purita Haila Artha Upavana Dekhiya Santosha Haila Mahaprabhu Ramana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw half the garden filled with a variety of prasadam, he was very satisfied. Ei mat Jagannath kare na bhojana, ei sukhe Mahaprabhu judaye nayan. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fully satisfied just to see how Lord Jagannath accepted all the food. Following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a Vaishnava should be fully satisfied simply to see a variety of food offered to the deity of Jagannath or Radha Krishna. A Vaishnava should not hunger for a variety of food for his own sake. Rather, his satisfaction is in seeing various foods being offered to the deity. In his Guru Ashtaka, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Chaturvida Shri Bhagavad Prasada, Swadanna Triptam Hari Bhakta Sangha, Kritveva Triptim Bhajata Sudeva, Vande Guru Shri Charana Aravinda. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food, analyzed as that which is licked, chewed, drunk, and sucked. When the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavad Prasadam, he is satisfied. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master's duty is to engage his disciples in preparing varieties of nice foods to offer the deity. After being offered, this food is distributed as prasadam to the devotees. These activities satisfy the spiritual master, although he himself does not eat or require such a variety of prasadam. By seeing to the offering and distribution of prasadam, he himself is encouraged in devotional service. So even Prabhupada would be very happy when his disciples were served nice prasadam and huge quantities of prasadam. Once Prabhupada, he said devotees should eat as much as possible. They should eat prasadam as much as possible. And somebody asked, Prabhupada, you say sense gratification is not good, but eating too much prasadam and heavy prasadam is not good. Prabhupada said, this is only sense gratification they got, so it's okay. After some time, then Prabhupada said at some other place, now devotees should do some austerity and not eat too much prasadam. Then many devotees went to him, Prabhupada, you said other day this thing, now you're saying this thing. And Prabhupada said, when I said the other day that you should get all nice prasadam, you didn't have any question. But now you all are coming and asking me about the austerity. So the devotees were like, oh. But Prabhupada did allow, okay, you can eat good prasadam. But obviously, like in Nectar of Instruction, it is said, Atyahara Prayasasya. So got to be careful. Got to be careful. Just for the taste of the tongue, you shouldn't be running around just to have more and different kinds of prasadam. But obviously, when we go to Jagannath Puri, then those instructions don't work over there. But just got to be careful, that's all. केहा पत्र द्रोणी आइला बोझा पांच सात एक एक जन दश दोना दिल एक पात. There then arrived 5 or 7 loads of plates made of the leaves of the Ketaki tree. Each man was supplied 10 of these plates, and in this way the leaf dishes were distributed. Kirtaniyar parishram jani gaur rai tasavare khaya ite prabhur man dhai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the labor of all the Kirtan chanters. Therefore, he was very eager to feed them sumptuously. Panti panti kari bhakta gane vasaila, pariveshan kari bari apane lagila. All the devotees sat down in lines, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally began to distribute the prasadam. See, so much he was thankful for all the kirtaniyas. They had done hard work. Mahaprabhu himself was distributing prasadam. Prabhu na khaile keha na kare bhojana sarup gosai tabe kaila nivedana. But the devotees would not accept the prasadam until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took it. Swarup Damodar informed the Lord of this. Apane Vaishya Prabhu bhojan na karite, tumi na khaile keha na pare khaite. Swarup Damodar said, my Lord, please sit down. No one will eat until you do. Tabe Mahaprabhu Vaise nij gana laya, bhojan karaila sabha ke akantha puriya. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates and had every one of them fed very sumptuously until they were filled to the necks. So this is the way to eat prasadam in Jagannath Puri. Bhojan kari vasila Prabhu kari achman prasad ubarila khaya Sahasreka Jan. After finishing, the Lord washed his mouth and sat down. There was so much extra prasadam that it was distributed to thousands. Also, interestingly, some places where it is observed that when in a group people are having prasadam, but when the group leader he gets up, then everybody just gets up. They don't eat anything afterwards. It's just some places this etiquette is observed. Prabhu Ragyaya Govinda Dinahina Jane Dukhi Kangala Ani Karaye Bhojane. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda, his personal servant, called for all the poor beggars who were unhappy due to their poverty and fed them sumptuously. Kangalera Bhojan Ranga Dekhe Gora Hari Hari Bola Bali Tare Upadeshakari. Observing the beggars eating prasadam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted Hari Bol and instructed them to chant the holy name. In a song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur chants, Miche Mayara Vashe, Yacha Bheshe, Khacha Habu Dabu Bhai, Jiva Krishna Das Ai Vishwas, Karne Ta Ar Dukhana. O people, why are you being captivated by the waves of the ocean of nations? If you would immediately accept Lord Shri Krishna as your eternal master, there would be no chance of being carried away by the waves of illusion. Then all your sufferings would stop. Krishna conducts the material world under the three modes of material nature, and consequently, there are three platforms of life, higher, middle, and lower. On whatever platform one may be situated, one is tossed by the waves of material nature. So waves of material nature is tossing everybody. Means everybody goes through some or many miseries. Everybody, whether one has money or not, doesn't matter. Whether one is very well educated, whether one is highly posted, everybody goes through problems. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying, Jiva Krishna Das Ei Vishwas Karle to Ara Dukha Nai. But this Vishwas, this faith doesn't come just easily, so easily. Someone may be rich, someone may be middle class, and someone may be a poor beggar. It doesn't matter. As long as one is under the spell of the three modes of material nature, he must continue to experience these divisions. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised the beggars to chant Hari Bol while taking prasad. Chanting means accepting oneself as the eternal servant of Krishna. So chanting means accepting oneself as eternal servant of Krishna. So this is, of course, different acharyas have given different meaning, but Prabhupada accepted this meaning and this is what he told. This is what chanting means. This is the only solution, regardless of social position. Everyone is suffering under the spell of Maya. Therefore, the best course is to learn how to get out of the clutches of Maya. How to do so is stated by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sugunam samtitiyata brahma bhuyaye kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So only way to transcend, get out of the modes of material nature is to engage in avyabhicharyam, means unfailing devotional service. One can overcome the spell of Maya and attain the transcendental platform by agreeing to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Devotional service begins with Shravanam Kirtanam. So Prahlad Maharaj has given 9 Navada Bhakti, 9 processes, begins with Shravanam Kirtanam. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the beggars to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for elevation to the transcendental position. On the transcendental platform, there is no distinction between the rich, the middle class, and the poor. So on the transcendental platform, because that platform is on the soul level, nothing to do with the body. So, but we have to come to that platform, not imitate it, but really come to that platform. And that is only possible by performing devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, means always performing. Hari bol bali kangal premi bhasi jai. Aichan adhuta lila kare gaur rai. As soon as the beggars chanted the holy name, Hari bol, they were immediately absorbed in ecstatic love of Godhead. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed wonderful pastimes. See, another thing to notice here, Mahaprabhu was asking everybody to chant Hari Bol or Hare Krishna, whatever. I just mentioned they were beggars. So even when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of God, himself was present, they were beggars. Although they have seen him, taken his darshan, taken darshan of Lord Jagannath, but still there were beggars. So Mahaprabhu did not uh, give them money so that the material situation is changed. He did not. He's Supreme Lord. He could have done that. But he didn't. So those who argue that Manav Seva is Madhav Seva, they should learn from the Supreme Lord himself. How much hunger and how much poverty we can alleviate of anybody, of any place, any city, any street. No, we can't. It doesn't mean we should not try. Compassion is one of the greatest qualities of mode of goodness, but we have to understand where to apply this quality of compassion. Mahaprabhu is feeding them Jagannath Prasadam and asking them to chant Hari Bol. Simple for us to follow. To feel the emotion of ecstatic love of God is to be on the transcendental plan. If one can keep himself in that transcendental position, he will surely return home back to God. In the spiritual world, there are no higher, middle, or lower classes. This is confirmed in Ishopanishad. Yasvin sarvani bhutani atma vibhud vijanata tatra ko moha kaha shoka ikatvam anupashyata. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality one with the Lord becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? So in spiritual world, there are no higher, middle, or lower classes. But in material world, there are. In spiritual world, there could be different status of social status could be there. Like Nanda Baba is there. He is a king of Braj, king of Golok Vrindavan. But then Krishna Balram, and then their friends are there, their servants are there, all kinds of different kinds of, but there is nobody is trying to exploit anybody. This exploitation goes on in the material world. And that exploitation is based on the body. I think I am rich, I am poor, I am good looking, I'm better looking, I'm not good looking, I'm educated, I'm not educated, whatever we want to discriminate on. It's all there in material world. And this discrimination is only for one lifetime we can do. And even in one lifetime, for how many years we can discriminate? In next life, it will change. Things, status, everything can change. Everything will change. What will be my next life status? I don't know. But we get so engrossed, so caught up in this temporary things that we forget our real position and real goal. But in spiritual world, these things are absent, completely absent. यहाँ जगन्नाथेर रथ चलन समय गौड़ सब रथ ताने आगे नहीं जाए. Outside the garden, when it was time to pull Jagannath's car, all the workers called Gaudas tried to pull it, but it would not move forward. टानी ते न पारे घोड़ा रथ चढ़ी दीला पात्र मित्र लाया राजा व्याघ्र हाया हाइला. When the Gaulas saw that they could not budge the car, they abandoned the attempt. Then the king arrived in great anxiety, and he was accompanied by his officers and friends. महामल्ल गण दिला रथ चलाई ते आपने लागिला रथ न पारे तानी ते. The king then arranged for big wrestlers to try to pull the car, and even the king himself joined in, but the car could not be moved. So this is where Jagannath Ji is having his pastimes there. व्याघ्र हयाने राजा मत हाथी गान रथ चलाइते रथे करेला जो जान. Becoming even more anxious to move the car, the king had very strong elephants brought forth and harnessed to it. Mat hasti ganatane jar jat bala ek pad na chale ratha haila chala. The strong elephants pulled with all their strength, but still the car remained at a standstill, not budging an inch. Wow. Shuni Mahaprabhu aila nij gana lai mata hasti ratha tane dekhe dandaya. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this news, he went there with all his personal associates. They then stood there and watched the elephants try to pull the car. Ankusher Ghaya Hasti Karai Chitkara Ratha Nahi Chale Loke Kare Hahakara. The elephants being beaten by the elephant goad, crying, but still the car would not move. The assembled people cried out, alas! तवे महाप्रभु सब हस्ती घुचाईला निज गणे रथ काची टानी बारे दीला. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu let all the elephants go free and place the cart's ropes in the hands of his own men. Apane rather pache thele matha diya had kadi rath chalila dhaiya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the back of the car and began to push with his head. It was then that the car began to move and roll along, making a rattling sound. Haribol. Bhaktagana kachi hate kari matra dhaya, apane chalila ratha tanite na paya. Indeed, the car began to move automatically, and the devotees simply carried the ropes in their hands. Since it was moving effortlessly, they did not need to pull it. So it's all Jagannath, whatever he wants to do, he does it. Anande karaye loka jaya jaya dhani, jaya Jagannath bhai arna hi shoni. When the car moved forward, everyone began to chant with great pleasure. All glories, and all glories to Lord Jagannath. No one could hear anything else. निमेषित गेला रथ गुंडीचार द्वारा चैतन्य प्रताप देखी लोके चमत्कार. In a moment, the car reached the door of the Gundicha temple. Upon seeing the uncommon strength of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people were struck with wonder. So it wasn't the physical strength of Mahaprabhu, it was the devotion, it was the love for Krishna that he had. So in a moment, the car reached the door of the Gundicha temple. So from Jagannath Vallabh Garden to Gundicha, Jagannath Vallabh Garden is about halfway from Shri Mandir to Gundicha. And very soon the car reached Gundicha temple. Jai Gaura Chandra Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ei Mata Kolahal Loke Dhanya Dhanya. The crowd made a tumultuous vibration, chanting Jai Gaura Chandra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Then the people began to chant, wonderful, wonderful. देखिए प्रताप रुद्र पात्र मित्र संगे प्रभुर महिमा देखी प्रेमे फुले अंगे. Seeing the greatness of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Pratap Rudra Maharaj and his ministers and friends were so moved by ecstatic love that the hair on their bodies stood on end. Pandu Vijay Tabe Kare Sevak Gane Jagannath Vashila Giya Nijasima Sane. All the servants of Lord Jagannath then took him down from the car and the Lord went to sit on his throne. So maybe at that time it was different, but now Jagannathji stays on the chariot for one night outside Gundicha temple. And then next evening, they make all these arrangements for him to get down and go inside. Subhadra Balaram Nija Simhasane Aila Jagannathera Snana Bhoga Haite Lagila. Subhadra and Balram also sat on their respective thrones. There followed the bathing of Lord Jagannath and finally the offering of food. Anginate Mahaprabhu Laya Bhakta Gana Anande Aramba Kaila Nartana Kirtan. While Lord Jagannath, Lord Balram and Subhadra sat on their respective thrones, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees began to perform Sankirtan with great pleasure, chanting and dancing in the yard of the temple. Anande Mahaprabhu Prema Uthaila Dekhi Sab Loka Prema Sagre Bhashila. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting and dancing, he was overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and all the people who saw him were also flooded in the ocean of love of Godhead. Nityakari Sandhya Kale Arati Dekhila Ayatota Asi Prabhu Vishrama Karila. In the evening, after finishing his dancing in the yard of the Gundicha temple, the Lord observed the Arati ceremony. Thereafter, he went to a place called Aitota and took rest for the night. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.